starting the webinar as well. Good evening, everyone. I'm Captain Gaurav Rana, and I run Sea and Beyond. With me, I have my team. I've got Tejal I've got Smita, Satendra, and Disha, who will assist me in managing the webinar as well. And so my request to everyone is, if you could mute your mics, and also if you have logged in with a different name which is not your name. It could be your phone's name, it could be your laptop's name, it could be your family member's name. Maybe if you could log in, just rename yourself. It'll be easy for us to address you at a later stage. So do that as well. And yep. Sanjay, I've muted you. Okay, sorry. Right. So I'm Captain Gaurav Rana, and I will just give a quick introduction about myself. And then I'll probably take an introduction about you as well. So I've got about 25 years of experience in the shipping industry. I've got 2 years in command. Overall, 13 years I have sailed as on merchant ships. It's been almost 13 years since I left sailing. I was 4 years as a technical director in a company which was doing ports consulting. 4 years I worked as a general manager in IBM. And I've been running Sea and Beyond for past 8 years. Sometime while I was also in one of the roles earlier in IBM, and for the past 3 years full-time into Sea and Beyond. In terms of my education, I've done MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, a full-time course. I also did my BSc from BITS Pilani and a few IT courses as well. In terms of Sea and Beyond, we're one of the first companies to address the career transition issues for our community. We've got 50+ persons who are acting as experts, who are as experts on our platform. We've done more than 60 webinars, maybe about 75, 80. We help in we help in preparation of CV. We help in choosing you the right course and college for you. We're partnered to more than 20 universities now, and we are partnered to about 100 companies where we provide jobs, and we are more specifically into shore jobs than anything else, right? So that's essentially what we do at Sea and Beyond. Let me take a quick poll from the audience in terms of what your rank is. Yeah. So that we know, and I'll share the results so that we know that what kind of persons are there, and I can also accordingly have my pitch more specific to the kind of persons are here. I'll request as many of you to answer as possible. Got about 75% of the attendees who have answered. Can I have more people answering this poll? All right. Another 5 seconds before I end the poll. Okay. I've ended the poll and shared the results. So I mean, mostly people who are sailing are there. So about an equal number top 4 sailing, and almost 46% top 4, 43% operations level, 7% who are settled ashore after sailing, and 4% who never went to sea. Right. We'll stop sharing the results and going to the next slide. So I'll just quickly introduce you about C and Beyond and what our mission vision is, and then I'll straight away jump to the topic for which we are here for. So through C and Beyond, we want to help you take a well-informed professional decision. That professional decision could be which career should I get into? That could be which course should I take? Which college should I go? Or it could be which job could I take? So those are the things where we would help you. And our idea is, our vision is to become a one-stop solution for most needs of persons within the shipping industry. Right. Agenda of the webinar. These are the following points which I'll talk about. When should I start planning of my career? Right. Which field is best for me? I did an earlier webinar for this, and maybe Tejal, if you can just share the link of this webinar on the chat window. But I will not talk about which field is best for you. But you can share this webinar. It could be useful. You can look at this webinar. The process of career planning. What are the skill set enhancements which you require? Is MBA for you? Is a maritime focused course for you? Which one should you be doing? MBA versus maritime modular, and should you be doing it on a full-time basis or on a distance learning basis, which is probably best for us, and right time for each type of course, right? And the way forward. So those are the topics which I'll try to cover in this session. Career plan, right? When should you start to plan your career? Okay. I started planning my career actually in a very, very late stage. When I was actually a master, that's the time when I started to plan my career, which was not right. Because I was so very focused on becoming a master, I could not think of anything else. But ideally, persons should start to plan their career when you are not enjoying whatever you are doing. So whether it be sailing, whether it be doing something else, when you're not enjoying it, that absolutely you need to start thinking of what else could you do. But more importantly, and this is very, very important, and this is where many of us fail, is start planning when we are very comfortable with what we are doing. Because once that happens, then that comfort kicks in, a new challenge goes off, our learning doesn't happen. So if you are comfortable with sailing as whatever rank, if you are comfortable in working in whatever rank, start thinking of what else, because otherwise you will not grow. And that is very, very important, right? How do you start your career planning? You need to evaluate and understand your strength and weaknesses, right? Your strength could be you're very good at ops. Your strength could be you are a people's person. Your weakness could be maybe you would not like to work in a team, right? So then maybe pilotage is better for you, right? But if you are someone who really likes you're a people's man, then maybe marketing, business development kind of roles are better for you. Talk to experts, right? And this is something which many of us don't do. We talk to our friends who are probably in the same boat as ours. So while that's very good to do, you can discuss, but the guidance doesn't happen. So try and talk to the persons who are actually doing it or who have done a certain thing which is aspirational to you, right? And then make a plan for 7, 8, 10 years. This is where you would like to be, and then break it into 1 year, 2 year goals. And very, very important, and I can't stress it enough, share your goals with people who are very close to you, right? Because once they know, they will ask you, what have you done, where are you? And they will not ask you to kind of make fun of you if you're not doing it, but to check with you, and that where you are. So don't just make plans and keep it to yourselves. Share it with as many people as you feel, and then start to act on it, right? All of this which I told is very easy till the time action comes, right? And that is where most of us fail. We are not able to act. So act is very career planning process, right? And this is the process number one, which most of us do, right? We work very diligent. We apply for various roles, and we try and get to an end, and hopefully we get selected. We try out a job. If it suits, it's amazing. If it's not, we try something else, right? So this is how most of us in any industry, be it shipping, non-shipping, any industry, this is how most of us work, right? And then this is fine. Many people have succeeded doing this, and say 90% of the people work this way. There's another way of planning your career, that is, and Merchant Navy provides us with that liberty to shortlist the fields wherein you can go, right? So once you are in Merchant, you can actually get into about 40 different maybe roles that you can go, but maybe 15 different fields, but 30 to 40 different roles that you could go. Shortlist where you would like to go. Take guidance from experts in those 2 to 3 fields, right? Those top 2 to 3 fields. Enhance your skills, build your network, make a good CV on a LinkedIn ID, apply for selected jobs. But when you apply, you are very clear of why you want to apply for that particular job. Get a job of your liking, excel and grow, keep on enhancing your skills, right? So that's essentially the other way of planning your career. Which one is better, or which one maybe not so good? I would say nothing is right or wrong over here, right? The two career options which I told you, one is randomly apply for jobs and get the one, and maybe it will suit you, may not suit you. The second is take a well-informed decision, apply for the careers which is best for you, and apply for those kind of jobs, and then you may succeed, right? And for applying for a particular job, you may have to upskill yourself, right? Do that as well. But more important over here is you should be cognizant of what you are doing. You should be in control of what is happening, right? So what shouldn't happen is that you apply for a HSEQ role, you apply for a technical purchase role, right? You didn't want to do that, you applied, you got, and then the company directs you. Then the company tells you, okay, maybe you do this today, you do that tomorrow, and then what will happen is, while you may get the money, the chances of success may be a little low if you're not doing what you are in control of, right? And you may not be satisfied also. So the more chances of satisfaction, the more chances of you being in control of where you are is in the option 2, which we had discussed in the earlier slide. But as I had said, there is probably nothing right or nothing wrong over here, right? Most people have taken option 1, but the success ratio in option 1 is less. Few people take option 2, but the success ratio in option 2 is more, right? Now, coming to opportunities in the maritime and logistics field, right? And I'll explain this graph to you, and I'll tell you, uh, what the opportunities in the maritime and logistics field. The green graph over here is the world's seaborne trade in tons, right? Which we are saying that the seaborne trade will increase from what 5.5 to 170. So which is approximately going 30 times, right? In 30 years, about 30 times. The GDP of the world economy will grow from 5 to 120 times. So maybe about 25 times is the growth in GDP, right? But the world population is it is not increasing in line with the prediction of GDP, the world rate, right? So the point that I'm trying to make over here is that while the trade is increasing, economy is increasing, people may not be increasing at the same level, right? More so in the merchant marine fleet, right? Um, so mostly from the European countries, there are very few people who are coming, and that too on the merchant side, merchant shipping. They're more coming on the shore side, and it's happening in India also. Many people are on the shore side, while there are also people going in the seagoing side as well. The bigger point that I'm trying to make over here is to ensure that we have sufficient skilled persons to manage the seaborne trade or to manage the growth in economy. We need people, and who are best placed to fill this are persons who have some kind of an experience, prior experience. And with us mariners, we have that supply chain, we have that logistics, we have that operations experience to bridge that gap, to be able to support the world or the companies in the increase of trade as and when it happens, right? So we are best placed to be able to support companies in their growth. How do we leverage it is upon us. We can leverage it by just pure play sailing. We can leverage this experience or this education by upskilling better and then supporting these companies over there, right? Let me take one quick poll over here on do you want to upskill yourself? Yes, no, you're not sure. That's the first question. And second is, which one do you relate to most when you come in the webinar? Which one did you relate to most? I'm confused on whether I should be doing an MBA or shipping related. I'm not sure whether I should do a full-time or distance learning. I'm clearly on the kind of course. I'm clear on the kind of course, but need guidance. I'm sorted. I just want to validate my thoughts, whatever it is. Right. I've got about 75% of you who have voted. I'll wait for request a few more answers. We've got about 80%. Okay. Great. I've got about 85%, and I'm ending the poll and sharing the results. So about 92% of you say you are interested to upskill, 8% were not sure. What do you relate to most? About 46% of you feel you want to upskill, but you're not sure whether you should be doing an MBA or shipping related course. And 30%, I'm not sure whether you should do a full-time or a distance learning. And a few of you are clear on what you want to do, but you need guidance on the university application. So good. And I hope I should be able to answer all of these queries in a more tangible manner by the end of this session. Thanks for those inputs, guys. Okay. Moving on. So this is the first question which I received from most of the persons. Is MBA for me? Right now, if you are sailing, if you want to be, the first question which I ask is, do you want to stay in shipping or not? Now, if the answer is yes, my straightforward reply is MBA, especially on a full-time basis, may not be the best option for you, right? And why I say this is, most companies, 90% of the companies is my guesstimate, do not have an MBA at the top position in a shipping company, right? More so full-time MBA. Most persons are from a shipping background, sailing background, master chief engineers, those are the guys who are managing these companies. So which means that MBA does not have as much weightage as in shipping as it has in other industries. This is changing though, right? I don't know how much time would it take to change, maybe 5, 7, 8 years, but this is changing. But as of now, MBA may not be the best option if you would like to stay in shipping, right? Now, do you want to stay in shipping? If the answer is no, right, then MBA is a fairly decent option. And you could look at these particular things, right? You could, if your age is less than 30, right? If your age is less than 30, look for full-time MBA from top 20 colleges globally. Or maybe if there is a region where you would like to get into, maybe in India also, don't go less than, more than the top 20 ranking colleges. If you are between 30 to 35, right, then you should go for an MBA, but look for top 10 colleges in MBA, right? If your age is between 35 and 40, only look for top 3 MBA colleges in whichever region you would like to settle. If it's in India, if in US, wherever it is, right? If you are more than 40, a full-time MBA may not be recommended because you already have about 18 years of experience in shipping. Making a switch from shipping to an industry will be a little tough for you, right? So that we wouldn't totally recommend that. Tejan, if you can just mute, there's someone who's, I can hear the sound, so if you can check and mute that person. So, so that's what I would suggest. Distance learning MBA is generally not beneficial unless there is a qualification criteria. By qualification criteria, I mean that, for example, you are working in a government company, right, or any other company, right? And for you to get to the get promoted, wants you to have an MBA, right? If that's the case, then distance MBA is good, and mostly in government companies, in Indian PSUs and all, they give a weightage to your qualification. So if you're an MBA, your chances of getting promoted is a little higher, right? It can with companies also, but it's more so in government companies, right? Distance learning also be done if you are already working in a company, and I mean you want to upskill yourself, but you want to continue in the company as such. But um, um, doing that MBA and hoping that there will be a lot of change in your designation or immediate change in your designation may not happen, right? Moving to the next slide. Sorry, before I move, there's a line which I have drawn in the at the bottom of the slide, which is from green to red, which goes from green to red. Okay, this indicates the risk which a person would have when the person does that MBA, right? So at the age of less than 30, wherever you do an MBA from, the risk is little less, right? And but when you do an MBA, as your age is higher, the risk increases, right? And that's one of the why I am requesting that do it from a full, I mean top 10 college or a top 3 college, because in some way able to mitigate that risk when you do it from the top colleges, right? But the idea is for you to be aware, that there will be a certain risk when you do an MBA at a certain age, and you should be aware of it and absolutely take that step. I did my MBA when I was 34 or 35 from IIM Ahmedabad, right? But I was aware, I'm taking that risk. I did not do it for a job, right? I did it for learning. My reasons were different, but I was aware why I was doing it for. Okay. Moving to the next slide. Now, should you be going for a shipping, logistics, port focused courses, right? Or when should you be going for those courses? Do you want to continue sailing, right? If the answer is yes, right, you want to continue sailing, then and in the near future you think that you want to continue sailing, do a distance learning program, which could be a 1 year or a 2-year shipping focused program, right? The other thought which you might have now is that you want to continue sailing, but not for eternity, right? So not sure how long you want to sail, but you're thinking that maybe 1 to 4 years, 5 years, I will leave. Then what my suggestion is, if your age is less than 35, understand your interest, shortlist your college, save money, right? Sometimes we take a house, we do many other things, invest. I would suggest, if there is a 1 to 4 years of horizon, save your money and invest into a full-time course, right? If your age is less than 35. If your age is more than 35, by the time when you would like to quit, right? Suggestion is enroll for a distance learning program, preferably a 2-year one, right? And this is, if you're thinking that you want to sail for 1 to 4 years, right? That's when I'm giving you this plan for. If you want to stop sailing right away, less than a year, go for a full-time course straight away, understand your interest, shortlist college, save money, full-time course, right? Which course, which college could be best for you? We've put in some kind of courses, and these are a broad level, right? And don't go that we put that you should do a maritime law or MSc shipping ops and management. There are enough and more courses. Connect with one of our counselors, they can, but there are enough and more courses which you could essentially do, right? So what I've listed is a few courses if you want to continue sailing, but you want to but you're looking for something else, then these are the two courses. If you want to continue sailing for only 1 to 4 years, then these are the courses which you could do: MSc Shipping Operations, Maritime Law, Ops and Management. If you want to quit right away, age less than 35, these are the courses which I would suggest. And we can discuss on which colleges and all as well. Right. Over here, I've given you the courses in detail. Which university are these, which you can see. We've done webinars of every university, each and every course, and the information from the alum and from the course director is available on our website. You can have a look on our website. You should be able to get that. Otherwise, Tejal should also be able to assist you in that. Right. Now, what I gave you now is a generic list of courses, which I don't know which is best for you, right? Very generic. How do you pick a course, right? Number one, and this is very important, pick your interest, right? Are you interested in staying in core shipping? Are you interested to go for maybe broader maritime, or absolutely no shipping on maritime, right? That's the first question that you should be asking yourself, right? Second question you should ask is, where do you want to stay? Which is the geography that you are looking at? Are you looking to stay only in India? Are you looking to maybe migrate to Europe, Canada, whatever, Australia? That's the second thing. And then check whether those places have the courses which you are interested in. Third is, look for the credibility of that university or the course. What is the rank of the course? What is the rank of the university? Are people getting jobs? How are the professors? How is the curriculum? Right? That's the third thing that you should be looking at. Number fourth is network. And this is one of the very, very, very important things you should be looking at. Because your network, actually, your alum takes you, really helps you in your career. For example, if I can approach fairly senior guys in the outside shipping just by saying that, there is an email which people from IIM Ahmedabad get, right? If I send that email from that email ID, the chances of me getting a reply is higher than a person who's probably, not having that email ID. So, and same happens with me, right? If a person from my own college connects with me and asks me for some guidance, I'm more likely to connect with him rather than others. So network plays a very, very important role. ROI, right? ROI is return on investment. So that is very important also. But my only request is, don't look at ROI from an immediate basis, right? So don't look at saying that मैंने अभी 20 लाख रुपए डाले तो मेरी salary ही होनी चाहिए. I mean, I'll get an ROI right away, right now. That will never happen. ROI will come over a period of time. ROI will not just be in terms of your remuneration, but will also be basis on your designation that you will get. So, for example, if a person has done an MBA or any other course from one certain college, one company may give it a little bit more weightage than if you have done it from another college, right? So ROI is also one parameter, but many people give ROI as the single most preferred parameter. Don't give that. ROI will happen if you are doing a good course from any credible university. Right now, I want to now summarize, right, what you should be doing, or if you're looking at an MBA versus shipping focused or modular courses, what should you be doing, right? So MBA is, and this is, I'm talking about full-time MBA, is if you don't want to continue in shipping, if age is on your side, you are very good in academics, and you are prepared for a bigger competition, right? So which means that within shipping, if you do a course, there will be maybe 1 lakh people whom you will be competing with, maybe less, much lesser. But if you are doing it in, say, MBA general management, this is the entire population you will be competing with. Of course, the roles will be higher as well, but that's also something which you should be prepared for. Right? Shipping focused courses, if you would like to leverage your years of experience and want to continue in the broader maritime arena, right? Not just shipping, it could be ports, it could be supply chain, it could be logistics, right? Look at those kind of courses. You're looking for things beyond a superintendent role, right? You don't just want to be an operations, marine, technical superintendent. You're looking for something else, right? And you want to move to associated fields. Look at shipping focused courses, right? And then there are these modular courses, right? Modular courses means it could be 3 month, 6 month, 1 month courses, which is offered by various companies. So if you have a stable job, so you are sailing and you want to continue sailing, right? You don't want disruption, right? You want incremental growth, right? And then those things will happen, right? You want a small change in your organization, a role change in your organization. So you're doing commercial, you want to get into claims as well, right? You're doing QHSC, you want to get into operations, then do these courses. And best kind of modular courses in today's time, day and age are courses related to technology, right? Because it is hitting our industry in a big way. Most of us, many of us don't understand it, and those who understand, they will be at a certain advantage in, even, I mean, while sailing, or even if you're not sailing, you will have an advantage if you are looking at to do a course which is in technology, right? Okay, now I talked about shipping, broader maritime and modular courses. Now, if you want to do these courses in a full-time distance learning, or you don't want to essentially do this course, any course, how would I summarize that? If you're looking to do a full-time course, preferable to do it before the age of 40, right? If you're looking at distance learning, there is, I mean, no age for it. Yesterday, I attended a conference. Day before yesterday, I was in a conference, and there was a person, Captain Kapil Dev Behel. Let me name him as well. He's 70 years old, and I know he enrolled himself for a law degree when I guess he was about 52 years old. And so he was sitting in that degree with students who are 20-year-old guys. And he's a very senior person. He's very learned person. He's extremely, well off. But he did a distance learning law course in India at the age of 50, right? So there's no age limit. You don't want to do any upskill, that's also fine. Most people don't do it. It's okay, right? Point being, only 3 to 5% people opt for a full-time course in an industry, right? Especially after you have started to work, only 3 to 5%. Distance learning, maybe 5 to 10. It's probably increasing, and maybe it's becoming 5 to 15% people opt for distance learning courses. Most people don't opt for any additional courses, right? In India, it's probably less. In India, we are a little bit inclined towards education. We are inclined towards upskilling. So the percentage could be less, but overall, 80 to 90% people don't opt for it. The irony, or the thing over here is, out of the 3 to 5% people who opt for full time, 90% have better chances of going higher and bigger, right? 65% have better chances of increasing their career if you've done distance learning course, and 10% of the persons have better chances of advancement if you have not done anything, right? You're inherently smart, you're inherently connected, you're talented, whatever it is, right? And there are enough people who have not done anything and still gone at top in shipping. In outside shipping, there will be maybe only 1 or 2% people of that stature, but in shipping, probably 10%, right? So that's how I would summarize. If you're how would you want to, if you would want to do a full-time or distance learning or no additional course, right? Typical FAQs which I get, or which we get, right? When you are looking for a course, will I get a placement after doing the course? There is no guarantee, right? In India, also the colleges say 100% placement assistance, right? They don't say 100%, or no one can say. In fact, in IIM Ahmedabad also, that's the best college in India by far. We used to have 2 to 3 people who did not get a job, or who did not take a job offer. In fact, everyone used to get a job, but they did not accept those offers, right? How much salary do I get after passing out? Depends on the course, depends your interest and long-term perspective. So if you are already in shipping, doing a shipping focused course, more chances, right? If you're in shipping doing an MBA, chances are a little less, right? So but many company universities give your salary, typical salaries after passing out as well. Another question which we typically get is, I have master's COC. Is it to enroll for a full-time course? In most cases, it is yes. You would be eligible because you get a distance, you get a equivalency certificate, right? From Bombay University. So you should be eligible, but it can be on case-to-case basis. And at certain point of time, this university in Rotterdam, they were not allowing just master COC to be a qualifying criteria, but now they are allowing, and I'm happy that we kind of at CN Beyond we pushed that case, and we were and the university allowed. Similarly happened in IIM Ahmedabad as well. Captain Yashovarman Sharma, he had pushed that case about 20 years back, wherein they were not accepting a master's COC as a qualifying degree for application or MBA, but now they are also accepting it, right? In the end, what I would like to say is that you should plan for a course because you want to upskill, because you want to grow, because you want to learn new things, and not just for a short job. Short job is a byproduct. Short job will happen either doing the course or without doing the course as well, right? If your bearings are right, it will happen. But upskill because you want to learn and grow, not just for a short job, right? At this point, I'll just take one poll question from you, and then we will also, open it up for Q&As. If you have a question, you can write it in the chat window as well. While you answer this poll question, the poll question is, how would you like to enhance your skills, MBA shipping focused, and when would you look at doing this course? I'll quickly run through how C and Beyond could help. We can help you with the financial assistance. We can help you in Forex remittance. We can also help you in visa assistance for a particular course, in application, in filling up the application, which is the last point, which should probably be the first point. We can help you in this, in writing of SOPs and accommodation, right? That's where Beyond can help you. We can help you in choosing a university, which is best suited for you as well. If you want help, if you want assistance from us, you can absolutely go on our website and apply, and there's a contact us form. You can fill that, or you can contact us on this email ID, which is written education@cnbeyond.com, which are written. Tejal could probably write them down in the chat window as well. Right. Let me see. Can I have a few more persons answering the poll? We've got about 75% of you who have answered. And I look forward to any questions as well if you would have that.
So actually, I had a question regarding the ICS course.
Let me just sorry. I just end the poll and share the results, and I'll take your question. I would prefer if you can write the question in the chat asking, because then we might have many people who are wanting to take who want to speak. Right? So just sharing the results. We've got most people who are interested in shipping focused, a few in MBA, and lesser in modular and other courses. Right. So I'm stopped sharing, and I'm sorry, the person who was speaking, you may now speak, and I'll take your question, while others can probably write their questions in the chat window.
Yes, sir. So this was regarding the ICS course on chartering and shipbroking. So just wanted to know your views on the same, because they also have this thing where they have this distance learning program where I think shippies are exempt from one subject, the introduction to shipping, and the rest 6 papers you have to attempt and clear in a period of 5 years. So what would you say about that, sir?
Okay. So Junaid, my suggestion is that be clear on what do you want from the end of the course, right? Now, are you looking at a job in a commercial after the course? Are you looking to just learn, upskill yourself, know a little bit about commercial shipping? So have that clarity in why would you want to do that course. And in my view, with ICS, most of the things which you learn in ICS, you would already learn in your, and if you're a deck officer, in your second mate's master, right? Most of the things you will learn over there. There will be few things which will be additional to you. But will ICS give you a job? Will a certification of ICS give you a job? Only that, the answer is no, right? It will give you one small brownie point extra when you apply for a job, but nothing more than that. You will not get a job basis this. You will get a little bit of learning for sure. You might get a little bit of network as well, right? But not, other than that, not much. So for upskillment, I can still suggest you, but if you're looking for a job just because of ICS, that would probably not happen.
So thank you for the clarification, sir.
Sure.
So we have a question from Praveen Kumar. Is GMAT mandatory for MBA?
Okay. Right. Most MBA courses you require one entrance test, right? And I would imagine top 20 colleges, if I'm talking about in any country, would require a GMAT. So I gave I did it from IIM Ahmedabad. Over there it was, and most good colleges would require a GMAT.
So I hope, Ravin, your question has been answered. We have another question from Ramesh. Can I know more on MBA, Maritime Law course and the scope of job?
Okay. Maritime law. Right. So in my view, if you are someone who is, inclined to study, if you are someone who is inclined to, to question things, who can put up a good argument, maritime law is fairly good. It is extremely remunerative as well, but the entry into maritime law is a little difficult, right? So to get into that whole, division, becoming a, getting into that system is a little tough. But once you enter, you really increase. I mean, your career can go at another level. We did a webinar also. So Ramesh, if you have a look at our website, maybe you can go through the webinar. We did a couple of webinars specifically for maritime.
Yeah, another question is from Janvi, sailing as in chief engineer. What are the requirements for IIM Ahmedabad entrance exam?
Okay.
IIM basically.
Right. For IIM entrance exams, it is, I mean, you need to have a graduation degree. You need to give GMAT. Typical GMAT score, average GMAT score is 700 to 710 for you to typically get through. There are persons at 650, at 670, 680 also who have gone through, but average score at 710. You have to write one letter of purpose, two letter of recommendations, and then just submit your application form. So that's essentially what is required.
Okay, so the other question is from Rajat. His age is 40, sailing as a chief engineer on tanker. So basically, he wants to know, he doesn't want to do MBA, but he wants to get into a 1-year course within India, and he wants a job in Mumbai or Pune.
Okay. Right. Okay. So Rajat, so there are two things which you could do, right? At the age of 40, chief engineer, if you can, so there are a lot of requirements for vessel performance, right? And in vessel performance, you require some IT skills. So if you can do a 3 to 6 month course for technology skills, and enough are available on Coursera, we can also help you. If you can just write an email, I can also suggest you a few courses. You can do those courses. Otherwise, you can do a couple of courses in UK, which are into shipping and logistics or maritime economics. And there are a couple of persons, the one person is actually 42, 43 who did this, who's doing a course in Rotterdam. You can do those courses and then plan to come back to India after a couple of years. My suggestion is that if you're doing a course from outside India, have the view to spend a couple of years over there, have that work culture understanding, and then come to India. So that's what I would suggest, Rajat.
Okay, thank you. All right. So the next question is from Pavitra. How will you suggest the roadmap has on shipbroker?
Okay. Shipbroker, honestly, there are a few skills which is required. You should be very good in your communication skills and building of relationships, right? If you are able to do that, I mean, you can get an entry, you qualify to become a shipbroker. But the initial 1 or 2 years, I've seen, people working at 20,000, 30,000 salaries, earning nothing. And there are enough and more companies who will take you. I don't know what your position is, but if you are at a operations level, a third engineer, a second officer, enough companies will take you, but they will not give you money for the first 1 year, 2 years. But then you start to fix ships, and that's the time when you start to make money for the company. And then, from 20,000, it all of a sudden becomes 2 lakhs, and you don't even realize that. ICS may help, may not help. It gives you a slight edge, but that's pretty much it.
So the
Yeah.
Pratik Agarwal wants to know, like he is planning for generic MBA, general MBA. So he also wants to, how can he bridge the skill gap as it's going to be in complete difference from sailing?
Okay. Okay. Very, very difficult question. So I think try and do modular courses, right? So maybe I mean, you want to get into management consulting, it's one of the toughest field for anyone to get into, but people have gone and they have progressed very well as well. So if you are getting into management consulting, I'm sure you would know that there is a certain black book of theirs, right? Those are the 100 questions which these companies ask. Get hold of that. Enough and more tutorials are there on the internet. Go through them. So it's essentially business cases, right? So for example, in management consulting, one of the questions is that in Bombay, and then they'll or maybe they'll tell you in whatever one city with a population of this much, where should the airport be, right? And they'll just and you have to do and you have to tell the answer assuming many things, and then they will follow ask you 10 follow-up questions. So accordingly you can progress, but there is a lot of material on the internet available. Okay.
The other question is from Praveen Kumar. Does MEL course require GMAT?
Okay. Yes and no. Depending on your academic. So once you share your mark sheet, right, and how did you fare over there, they will accordingly ask for a GMAT. If you've done fairly good and if it was recent, they may not ask. But if you have done and if your marks were not very great, and if you've done that education maybe about 7-8 years back, then they would ask. But it's a case-to-case basis. There is no black and white answer over here.
The other question is from Abhishek.
Yeah.
Related to shipping only, he wants to opt and into training.
Yeah.
Opportunities in maritime training. Currently, he's a second officer on tanker.
Yeah, absolutely, Abhishek. In fact, Abhishek, there is one very good company which is looking for a training officer, and we have that position. So if you can send your CV across to us, we can connect you to that company, and there will be interviews and all. But they are specifically looking for second officers in the training role. There are positions coming in the training role, where they look for third engineer or second officer to help them, and essentially ask your company, stay connected with us. We get about 6 to 7 such roles in a year, maybe more. So stay connected, and we could possibly help you in that transition.
The other question is from Ramesh. What are the criteria of getting a maritime law course other than LLB?
Okay. No, okay. So LLB is different, maritime law is different, right? what I am assuming is that most of us may not want to practice law after doing a law course, right? You would want to work in a claims, in a marine manager kind of role after doing the maritime law. So you don't need to do an LLB. There are at least 3 or 4 good universities in UK which are providing maritime law courses. I've got a very good friend, 2, 3 good friends who have done it from there. So if you can write to us, Ramesh, write to education@c and beyond, and we can tell you which universities are there. I think there is one whose course is starting in probably January as well. So you can connect with us and we can help you in identifying those colleges and the courses.
So Junaid wants to know the roadmap for broking, shipbroking and chartering.
Okay. Okay. First of all, be prepared to go at a lower salary. Have your question, the answer to this question ready. And this is a question which everyone will ask. Why shipbroking and chartering? Right? Right? And the answer should not be because it has a lot of money, right? The answer has to do with your interest and why your interest in that career, right? So have that. I have the answer of this question ready with you, Junaid. Ensure that you have funds to survive for 1 year at least, because the salaries are fairly low, especially for mariners, because we are used to a certain lifestyle. If you have that, then there are at least 15-20 companies which will be willing to take you. We get about 15 such positions in a year. Connect with us. I can connect you to our recruitment team. Tejal can connect you, and they should be able to assist you in having that transition. In fact, there is one opening right now in Delhi for that as well. Okay.
So Parvez wants to know the difficulty level in IIM MBA course, and is it like better to get 2 year full time or an executive MBA?
Parvez, extremely difficult. So when I was doing an MBA, we were like told you are lucky if you get to sleep 5 hours a day, right? And that's for at least 6 months a year. Okay. So if you're, if you can, so that's the level of difficulty which you will have. In terms of 2 year or 1 year, I would suggest if you have more than 6-7 years of experience, go for 1 year. If you have less than that experience, go for 2 year MBA. 2 year is much more tougher to get into. 1 year is comparatively easy, right? In 2 year, the pass percentage or the admission percentage is maybe 0.2%, 1.2% in IMA. In 1 year course, the admission percentage could be 0.5 or maybe 0.5 to 1% of the people who apply. It's comparatively a little easy.
So basically, Ayush Negi has the longest question. So he wants
I'll read
a
it
roadmap.
through.
Yeah.
So, third officer is given CAT that he wants to get into a commercial side on the LNG trading. I plan to sail and become financially independent. Okay. Ayush, is a very specific question, and where you would like to get into a very, very specific area as well, right? You want to get into shipbroking and LNG. I would suggest that let's connect one-to-one, because I'll need to take at least 10 to 15 minutes to answer that question of yours. So connect to Tejal once, and we can have a longest chat on this, please.
So Deepak wants to know the difference between digitalization and decarbonization.
Okay. Where is this question? This is in the end, is it?
Deepak, yeah, after Ayush.
Okay. Decarbonization and
digitalization. Oh, so he has personally messaged me. I will put that.
Okay,
And
no, that's fine. That's fine. So, it's a these are two very different things, right? Digitization can be anything. You're taking in sensors, data from sensors, and processing that. That's essentially digitization. Decarbonization is ensuring that the data that you receive or the actions that you take help in reducing the carbon footprint. Very, very basic answer at a very high level. You need to connect to a real expert to answer it in much more detail. Okay.
So Mohammed Faizan Sheikh has a question related to MBA in Operational Management from Mumbai University.
Okay. Okay, he's completed his MBA in Operations Management and graduated. I don't have any maritime experience. I would like to know if it's a good career choice to start as a shipbroker or vessel operator. So, it's a very good choice, Mohammed, if you start a career in commercial shipping, which is broking, or a vessel operator. The salaries, it depends. It can start at 20,000-30,000 or 50,000-60,000 as well, depending on your experience. But the sky is the limit. I've seen people earning 40, 50, 60 easy lakhs if you are there. Right. Tejal, I guess we missed a couple of questions at the top.
Yeah,
Rajat's question on modular courses. Rajat, send us an email. I have a list of modular courses, about 20 of them, and we should be able to share those courses with you. Praveen's question is on the full-time courses for this year. Praveen, you can enroll. The courses start in September and January. Depending on what you would like to do, we can simply suggest you a good course for you. Prateek's question is okay. Prateek's question, I think I answered that, right? Can you suggest something that I can do before joining the MBA as well? Prateek, possibly if you are joining an MBA, I found two subjects very difficult. That was me. That was statistics, and that's a fairly important course. So if you can brush your skills on statistics, and the other was economics. So and those are two important subjects. If you want to just do a modular course on especially statistics, that might be helpful.
So we have other question from Mayank Sharma. Can you please suggest a roadmap for an fourth engineer looking for MBA operations management from IIM?
Mayank, first give a GMAT. Okay, try and score at least 720, 730 in GMAT. एक बार वो हो जाता है, then you have to ensure that you have a very good SOP, statement of purpose, and we can help you with statement of purpose. So these are the two things, and third is interview. Again, we can help you with, but first is GMAT, right? And so ensure that you have a very good GMAT score, please.
Captain Approver wants to know any specific training required for a job as marine superintendent.
Nothing, Captain Approver. The only question that you should be able to answer to the company is, why are you looking for a marine superintendent role? And I would suggest that the answer should not be on the lines of, I want to be with my family, right? If the answer is on the lines of, I think I have reached at this level, I want to grow in my career, and the logical step for me is a marine superintendent, and I want to grow, learn, and add value to your company by working as a marine superintendent. So hence accept my application. So if it is on those lines, company is a little bit more aligned to you there, right? But no specific skills required for a marine superintendent. We have a few openings for marine superintendent, Captain Apurva, in case you would be interested.
So Captain Rishi wants to know maritime law full-time course starts in the month of September in UK. So are there good universities which began in the start of a year?
I assume by which you mean January. I guess, Captain Rishi, there is one which I was looking at yesterday. Drop us an email. I don't remember at the top. Do you remember, Tejal?
No, so even I was trying to recollect that.
Okay. I think there is one, Captain Rishi, and drop us an email once, please, and we should be able to assist you. Right. Ramesh question is maritime colleges in India and how can I law college? So there is one in Gujarat. My only suggestion or my what I understand from that college is it is mostly for freshers or beginners, right? So if you're at the age of 20, 21 and you want to get into a maritime law, it's for those kind of persons. Experienced persons are not going there, and also the courses are full-time courses. They're not having distance learning courses. So there's one in Gujarat, which is having the maritime law degree.
Mohan Kumar, sailing as a third engineer and interested to switch to ship chartering and ship broking. At the age of 35, guidance on this.
Okay. Mohan, 35, getting into broking may be a little tough. But essentially, if you are very passionate, people will not take you at a salaries which in other fields a third engineer could get. A third engineer could get possibly around 12 lakhs short, maybe more. But they will not give you more than 20-30,000. And I think if you're ready, apply at various companies and have that question or have the answer to the question ready. Why commercial shipping? How can you add value to them? If you have that ready, they should be able to take you. I can help you to connect to a couple of experts who are looking out or who can guide you into this. Who you can have a half an hour, 1 hour chat with them, who can assist you better, Mohan Kumar. Right.
So Jeffrey has some question.
Okay. Okay, let's take the question from Captain Apur first. Okay. Yes, Captain Apurva, your CV should be different to what you would have as a as a mariner, as a sailing mariner. So don't let it be in a company form. Ideally, the CV should be in a it should not show your weight, height, passport, COC, CDC. It should show your skills and why do you want to enter into work as a marine superintendent, right? That's what your CV should show. At Sea and Beyond, we also been making CVs and LinkedIn IDs. So, and these are professional CVs which can land you an interview. So in case you are interested, maybe just ping us on or email us, and we should be able to support you there as well, Captain. Jeffrey's question, I'll read it through. 25. I'm presently working as ship agency coordinator. I'd like to get into vessel operator. And Jeffrey, there is one opening which we have, wherein there is a company which is looking to for a person who is into maybe an agency and getting into operations. So you could maybe connect us with that. Second is, and especially at your level, Jeffrey, a MSc course, and if you do it probably from ship operations background, and these courses are nowadays also having a module for digitalization, right? I would strongly suggest, if you can spend that 1 year of your life doing that course, it will really help you to grow in your career in the long term basis. Because from an agency to commercial, not a very easy jump, especially if you're a non-mariner, and I'm not sure if you're a mariner or not very easy, but these courses help you to take that jump. Rocco's question 47. Captain Rocco, yes, I won't say that you would not get a shore job, but it's, preference is till 45 years of age. Howsoever, we do get a couple of openings wherein, maybe in training or in other fields where companies are looking for senior masters. So do share your CV with us. Maybe we could support you, but chances are little on the lower side. Having said that, if you are staying in Bombay or Delhi, right, and there is no relocation, then the chances are a little better, because then companies prefer someone who is from Bombay itself.
That's all
I think we've got one from Suresh Kumar, and Suresh. Yeah. Suresh, I think you would have to work a little harder to showcase your IT skills, right? Technology skills. So in terms of, can you analyze the data? Have you done any project for that? Have you used data on the ship while you were sailing? If you can show that, right, to a company, and no matter your age, because this is, and especially when we are wanting to get into optimization, there are many opportunities. But if you can show those skill sets, you should be able to get a shore job. But try and get those courses, try and do that project, try and show that relevance. That's my only request. Yeah. Oh, all right. I hope I was able to answer a few of your queries, guys. And I hope the seminar, the webinar was helpful for you. Let me take one final poll on feedback. And this feedback is about the webinar. Did you like the webinar? Did it meet your purpose? And if not, what else would you like to have, us to have? Put it in the chat window so that we can improve at a later stage as well. Yeah. Vikal 35, second mate. What courses are good for me? Vikal, I think at a second mate level, if you leave sailing, you can be, there are a lot of opportunities for you as well. Do send us an email, and Tejal should be able to help you in various courses which can be good for you. Yeah, I look forward to a few more feedback answers on the poll which we have shared. And whatever your feedback is, do write us as well, so that we should be able to support you, or maybe have that aspect in our next webinar. Thanks for the feedback, Praveen. I appreciate that. All right. Last few seconds, if you would like to answer the poll, please. Okay. I'm ending the poll and sharing the results. So I'm glad that at least, we were meeting the expectations or exceeding that in most cases, and you either liked, you found the session as a good, excellent, and I guess one person found it average, and I would like to, understand what we can do to improve it, please. Yep. Sure, guys. I think I'll stop sharing the feedback as well. I will also stop live streaming it and stop